See, God works in mysterious ways. I get a call from a professor at the Central Florida College. He says, we know you're a big Smokey fan. You're a nonprofit. We can give you something that's been given to us and a tax write-off's been taken. Would you like Smokey Unix Smokeman? I said, oh my God, you have it? I'll be right there. He said, well, it's big, it's heavy. We just went down to a little trailer, we took it apart. I was gonna hook it up and run it, you know, but that takes a special transformer because it's 400 volts. It's got a 200 electric motor to turn the engine. He was something else, Smokey. That machine is why we have lightweight oil in our cars today. Because he was the first guy that found out you didn't need real heavy oil if you had the right pressure and the right clearance. And that gave the engine more power because, you see, that's what they want because they don't want to have parasite drag with heavy oil. They want 5-weight and 10-weight oil in these engines so you get more power to the rear wheels, see. And they also discovered that the big air filter caused you to have more power. NASCAR didn't have any rules about the air filter. They didn't have any rules about the oil filter, so they could be bigger. All that stuff. That came with that thing. He even figured out how to put fins on the flywheel and have the housing fixed like a centrifugal blower for the clutch. And they run a pipe from that into the carburetor, and while the engine was running, it's sucking air and pressurizing the carburetor. That's over there. They outlawed that before he got that to the track.
They did that on a P-51 Mustang.
Did they?
Yeah, off the flywheel. That's how they supercharge it.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah.
Oh, he did all such a crazy stuff. First time I ever met him, I just won the big race at Riverside with my blown swamp rat, the last configuration. And so it was just before Christmas. So after the New Year's, I drove over to Daytona. I wanted to meet Smokey. He was a big hero of mine. And I walked into the shop or into the office there, which was a showroom, with a lady behind the counter. I said, "Is Mr. Unick here?" She said, "Yeah, just right down that hall, that open door." So I walked down there, and he was in there on his desk working. I knocked on the door. He never even looked up. He said, "Come in." And I walked in there. I said, "I'm Don Garlits." He looked up at me and he said, "I've heard of you." I said, "I just beat the Californians in a big race. I raced 9 cars in one afternoon and beat all of them and won the $7,500. And I brought my car over here to show it to you." He said, "I'd like to see that." Got right up from his desk. We walked out to my car sitting on an open trailer on the back of a 50 Cadillac that I had put a special motor in for the moonshiners, and they never picked it up. I guess they got them, right? Anyway, this Cadillac would fly, wide open on the open highway. Yeah. On Texas, Arizona, New Mexico, we towed it 100 miles an hour, hours on end. There was no speed limits.
At different time.
On those states, on the wide open highway, if there was no traffic, and we were traveling at night.
Oh.
So he walked around the trailer, stopped at the trunk of the Cadillac, and he looked at me and he said, "It looks to me like you built the trailer and the car with a buzz box." I said, "I did." I was proud of it. The buzz box is over in the antique building, that little Lincoln red welder. That stick electrode. He said, "What do you tow it with?" I said, "This Cadillac." He said, "Where do you keep the parts?" And I turned the key in the trunk. There's a short lock in the trunk, a small box of tools. Made 9 runs, never took anything apart. That was the day when we raced. We didn't work on them. See, they work on them 10 times as much as they race now. Now we raced them.
Every time they start them, they rebuild.
We didn't do much. In those days, we just dumped the water at the end, come back up to the staging lines. They always had a hose right there. We refilled the engine with water, topped off the fuel tank, maybe screwed a plug out. We knew which cylinders would run hot. We pulled one of those out, looked, put it back in, make another one. Anyway, he just shook his head. He says, "Wait right here, don't go anyplace." In a few minutes he come back, maybe 15 minutes. He handed me a business envelope, a used business envelope, and on the back of it was written a guy's name, a telephone number, and Flint, Michigan. He said, "You and your buddy get in your Cadillac and drive up to Flint, Michigan. There's a brand new GMC carryall waiting for you in your name." Now, I've just met the man. I said, "Mr. Unique, are you kidding?" He said, "I never kid." He never kid. He said, "Anybody that could take a piece of crap like this, my car, and go to California and beat those hotshots out there with all their fancy equipment deserves a better tow truck." And Smokey Unique and I became friends for life.
Yeah, I bet.
We never heard of such a thing. And I got pictures of it. We had the GMC for a long time. Really something. And when he was getting, he knew he was going to die about a year ahead of time. And he let me go in the building and just take whatever I wanted for the museum. I got engines. I got the small block Chevy that won Darlington in '55, 265. I got the Hudson Hornet that won Darlington in '54. I got the shotgun motor for Ford, the AJ41 Milwaukee in 1969. I got the Crosley engine that won the first Sebring race. They're all over in the other building. Yeah. On the dyno is the big block Chevy that General Motors had him get 600 horse for Can-Am racing. He got the 600 horse and he told him, "You can forget about Can-Am racing. It's too heavy. They'll wash out." So they just did what took his work and turned it into aluminum. Made the aluminum big block. Oh, I got the 600 horse Buick Nailhead. Buick was going to go NASCAR racing, and he got 600 horse out of the Nailhead engine. That's like the engine in the 32, the Maroon 32. It's over there in the antique building, but they never went NASCAR. I'm a big Buick fan, so I got that one. Yeah. But I didn't get that smoke, but I got it now. Okay, gentlemen, I think my voice has given up.
Thank you.
Thanks again.
Thank you, sir.